Well, Bob Iger, who has successfully destroyed Disney over the past few years, is having a very, very bad day today. We're going to get into everything that is going on because he had a shareholders meeting, all right? A very serious shareholders meeting because things are not going well for Disney. This is something that we continually see happening where everything is absolutely on a downhill trend for Disney, and Bob Iger is at a point of panic. But the best part about all of this is that we actually get to catch him in some of the deceitful things that he says to the shareholders. Best part about everything that happened today and that is happening with Bob Iger is that somebody who nobody saw coming just came into the picture and is now proposing that he is going to absolutely take down Disney once and for all and establish a new theme park, a new movie studio, and everything that is going to replace the current Disney that we have now. It's absolutely crazy. So we're going to get into that after we see what Bob Iger has to talk about here and after we kind of expose some of the nonsense that he is saying here. So CEO Bob Iger provides a little bit of that Disney spin during his quarterly investors call on Wednesday, where he touts the Thunderbolts box office, the hype for Fantastic Four, the viewership for Daredevil Born Again, and the reactions to Andor Season 2. And all of these things are kind of bogus, to be honest. Bob Iger calls Thunderbolts a hit, but the box office says otherwise. And we talked about this recently where, well, the numbers are not really showing that this is indeed a hit. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. Regarding what Iger said about Thunderbolts, now New Avengers, remember that they changed the name because of how badly the movie performed in its opening weekend. On the conference call, Iger said Thunderbolts from Marvel Studios opened last week and is currently the #1 movie in the world. This is something that Disney as a company loves to say every time they put out a movie, because for that weekend that it comes out, yes, it is the #1 movie in the world, but usually that's because there's nothing else that can really compete with what Disney is doing, and that doesn't mean that that movie is a success, all right? They say this all the time, is complete and total rubbish. Don't listen to them when they are saying it's the #1 movie in the world, because that doesn't actually really mean anything at the end of the day. What are the actual numbers for Thunderbolts? Well, the actual numbers are not that great. While Iger tries to sell investors that Thunderbolts is a success, the actual box office numbers tell a different tale. Thunderbolts New Avengers happens to currently be bombing at the box office. It sports the second lowest opening for an MCU movie, only outperforming the big-time failure of the Marvels. Iger then spins Daredevil Born Again numbers, but viewership tell a different story. The spin from Bob Iger continues as he mentions Daredevil Born Again. Meanwhile, streaming originals such as Daredevil Born Again, Paradise, and The Fall of Ruby Frank driving strong viewership, with the premiere episodes of those titles garnering more than 7 million views each during their first few days of streaming, which really aren't that impressive of numbers, all right? That 7 million views number actually isn't good. It's less than Agatha had more views than Daredevil Born Again. All right, Daredevil flops. Daredevil Born Again misses Nielsen ratings. It didn't even make it to the Nielsen ratings, guys. So things are actually a disaster for Disney right now. Bob Iger can try to spin it however he wants. And now today, Bob Iger just got absolutely destroyed in the most hilarious way possible by the most unlikely hero imaginable, Nate Bargatze, all right? To absolutely destroys Bob Iger, and it is fantastic. What happens next with Nate is actually crazy and something that nobody really saw coming. So this is what he had to say. Speaking with Esquire magazine, Bargatze said that he aspires to be a Walt Disney figure for the everyman, while citing Jerry Seinfeld, Judd Apatow, and Adam Sandler as his influences. Now Disney is run by a guy that's just a businessman. Bargatze said, well, that guy doesn't care about the audience, which I think we can all agree on. Bargatze said that he puts the audience first because none of this happens without them. And then listen to this, because this is crazy. According to Variety, Bargatze has been eyeing the foundation to build a Disney-like empire with movies and TV shows, merchandising, books, podcasts, and even a theme park in Nashville called Nateland that would be built on the site of the former Operaland theme park. I'll be honest with you, I bet we're closer than people thing, Bargatze said of his theme park, but it's still a little bit of a ways off. Imagine if he comes along and he completely steals all of Disney's thunder. I don't really see that happening, but it would be incredible. Things are looking really, really bad for Disney, and this is just another sign of that. So with that being said, let me know what you think about all of this. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.